Hello everyone, I'm Yiping Zhen. Today I'm going to introduce you to Venezuelan's Feminist media theory. First, in 2006, the high street news agent Ch19 Smith decided that Roots and Rue should not to be shared with other lifestyle magazines as they previously had, but would instead sit on the top shelf within the air community associated with more adult material and out of the reach of children's hands. In doing this, WH will responding to complaints from the public about the covers of those magazines which usually feature topless women. For this upset by this discussion, it was evidence of the unnecessary encroachment of females into every life, in which the supposed harmless application of the female body is a big of a love and quite different from pornography. The fact that WH responded in this way shows how the debate century of feminist media theory have become common in contemporary. This is not to suggest that all the changes that females often fight for have to be achieved, but it is to note that issues about gender and representation are often debated and not just within university. And what is feminism? First, feminists in the 1960s and 1970s were the first to identify the limited representation of women in the media and social discussions benefit men. This imbalance is reinforced in the media representation of women. A woman's role is perceived as being a domestic one. The first part of Venezuelan's series is that we get our ideas about gender from something she calls discourse. Discourse is a written and moving image communication. So that means when we read magazines, that topics what we read about, when we read the stories in newspaper, when we watch films, when we watch TV programs, that all discourse, and she thinks we get our ideas about gender from those media. So that means she believes that we know what it is to be female or male from the media products what cosmos. So perhaps when we watch female films and we see women as a damsel distorts when we start to believe that females need to be weaker and more vulnerable. Perhaps when we see repeated representation of men as action heroes, we start to believe that male is all about being brave and strong. The second part of Venezuelan's theory is that she believes is our idea about gender have to be looked at in terms of the context, the historical context and the cultural context, and that those ideas about gender changed depending on the historical and cultural context. Our idea of what it was to be masculine in the 1950s and may have been different to our idea about what it is to be masculine now in the year of 2019. So it's important to look at the context to understand how people may have the agenda after the time. The next part of Venezuelan's series is that she believes women are objectified in the media to To be objected means to be seen as an object, so they are as seen something to be looked at, something to be breathed, to be sold, and something that doesn't really have a person, like something that doesn't need to be seen as a person at all. And you will see that in a whole range of media product, you may see perform adverts where it's just the women's legs or hands in the shot because she doesn't even get a face because she's not as important. Another part of Venezuela's series is that she believes that women and men are often represented very differently. Women are often represented in her view as being domestic. They are seen as homemakers, as mothers, as wives, as people who should be doing cleaning and cooking, and she thinks that media products confuse women to that domestic. Fellow part of Venezuelan series that you need to be aware of is that often believes one men and women's bodies are represented in different ways. Now we already spoken about how she believes women's bodies are objected sexuality, and she believes that men's bodies are showing as what she calls spectacle. That means that men's bodies are seen as something spectacular, that worked hard to achieve something strong, something brave within them, while abs and muscles in her arms and women's bodies are being shown as something that we should lose over and that we shouldn't necessarily give any credit to women for having that body. We shouldn't see it as something she worked hard for. We should just see it as something that we want to buy or have or take. Venezuela's first part covers steel art Hobbs encoding decoding model, which is one of the other chapters in the book. While this demo stick in the interplay between different kinds of series, it also places Venezuela's work in a particular context, suggesting that she sees her writing as a development of whole.